Halloween fell on a Tuesday, the year the street felt hollow enough to hear the transformer hum like a faraway throat. Our house sat at the end of a cul-de-sac where leaves collected, and the wind had no place else to go. My parents left me in charge of the bowl, full enough to feel obscene, while they chased errands and early bedtimes. I told myself I'd be careful, that I wouldn't keep a handful for myself. I said it out loud, like a promise the empty rooms could hold me to. By 4, the early birds came in clusters. Fabric wings, plastic swords, fluorescent shoelaces, taking turns at the bell. I learned the rhythm of their voices and the squeak of the storm door hinge. Nix, my rat terrier with a bark that bounced off drywall, treated every ring like an approaching apocalypse, then forgot, then remembered, the way anxious creatures do. The sky went that paper gray, where the lights inside looked too warm, too inviting. The bowl sank, then rose again when I poured another bag in. The bowl would never empty. That was the joke my mom always made. By 8, the cul-de-sac settled into the kind of quiet that tastes like dust. Tuesday has a way of trimming the night. I reheated casserole, cleared a backlog of readings, and let a show talk to me from the bedroom, while the house did its own small noises, refrigerator frost cracking like a knuckle, heat briefly coughing on. When the bell went off again, it sounded wrong, as if I'd fallen asleep and was hearing a sound from before. It was 8-something. The front porch was a pane of glass and a rectangle of porch light. Behind the storm door stood a tall figure in a clown suit, the expensive kind that hides shape in folds. The mask had a white that wasn't white, the kind that eats other colors. He didn't sway. He raised his hand and then pointed at a brown paper sack, the bottom dark where his grip had worn oil into it. No kids, no chaperone. The yard behind him was a negative space, a lawn with a pulse. I didn't open the storm door. I said through the glass, "Sorry, we're out," and closed the main door, like I could erase the sight by turning a page. I locked it. The lock felt too light. My hand shook with the echo of his sighs. Nix lifted onto her toes and went high-pitched, useless. I pressed my ear to the wood, waiting for footsteps on concrete. The bell went again, the exact same press, the exact same timing. I flicked off the downstairs lights as if darkness could make us smaller. The latch on the storm door snapped like a dry twig. 2 knuckles tapped the main door, gently, as if we had an appointment and I was late. I took Nix upstairs and shut the bedroom door. I texted the family thread. The dots never came. I called my brother. He laughed like he was whispering to someone else and told me it was Halloween. Ignore it. I sat on the edge of the bed and tried to count breaths. The bell didn't go again. The silence that followed felt performed. I waited longer than I needed to, then let the TV's light go dark and the room go colder. Sleep tried to trick me by arriving as a soft weight on my shoulders. Nix did a small growl, a sound she used when she wanted permission to make a larger one. Her ears were pointed at the window like compass needles. Outside, just barely, something rubbed the glass. An almost squeak, the kind you get with a wet thumb on a cup rim. Then a thud, light, repeated, not knocking, more like a rhythm invented by someone who didn't know how to be here. 2nd floor. There's nothing to stand on up here. That's what I thought as my hand moved the blind with 2 fingers, and the clown's face filled the space between me and the night. The mask was too close to wear. I could see the seam around the eye. The head tilted as if trying to make me fit. Whatever noise came from me wasn't a scream. It was a torn breath. I ran, phone in hand, into my parents' room and locked the door with that cheap interior click that begs to be laughed at. The dispatcher's voice was practiced softness. and a clock. I asked her to hurry so often, I started to hear myself as a loop. Blue and red finally combed the block. 12 minutes became boots on the porch. They found the storm door latch broken, and my dad's aluminum ladder dragged from the shed and leaned by my window, its rungs damp with our own lawn. Smudges on the glass. No footprints clear enough to keep. No one to catch. An officer suggested staying somewhere else. I stuffed a backpack, whistled Nix into my arms, and stepped into air that smelled like cold foil. On my way to a friend's apartment, the cruiser turned the corner, and the street swallowed its color. The house behind me looked like a stage after the audience leaves. Set pieces, nothing alive. I pulled into a new driveway under an old maple and stood in the quiet with my keys, listening for the sound of a bell that wasn't mine anymore. My phone buzzed before I knocked. You didn't have to lie about the candy.
Like...
Shit.